Hello everybody and welcome to another author interview at In-House Publishing, and joining me right now is Annette Kontoleon. Hello Annette, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you this morning?
Fantastic, having a wonderful day.
Good, me too.
Well, it's even better for me now because you're here to talk about your book, Wantonness.
Oh, you want me to tell you all about it?
I want you to tell me all about it.
Okay. Well, it starts in the 1800s and it goes through to the 21st century. It is actually a trilogy, and this is the first book of the three. It has a lot of sex, a lot of lust, romance. It's good and it's bad. It's like everyday life.
The inspiration behind it, where did that come from?
Well, it came from a number of people, old people and young people, family. I think the biggest influence was my grandmother. She told me when I was a little girl all the stories about her grandparents, and they had a lot of money and what they did with it. So that was my biggest influence. Biggest influence, yeah.
We've had a few conversations about this story over the last few months, and there's some truth to this.
There is some truth, but like fiction, I do embellish a little.
That's good, and I do know what she's meaning. How did you find the writing process in essence? How was that for you?
Well, I found it, as I was going through it, I got very teary with a lot of it. I was happy because a lot of it was truth, and when you actually see it in writing, it's for real. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what made me feel good about myself, that I'd written it and I was able to move on.
Wow, so that's where the element of truth comes from, because I think from a creative viewpoint we always draw on some of our own experiences, our own stories, to be able to put into this. So how much of Annette is in this?
An awful lot, but not in the 1800s.
No.
I know I'm old, but I'm not quite there yet.
You mentioned before a trilogy, so what's the overall vision for the book or for the trilogy?
Well, the overall vision, I'd like to see it in a mini-series.
You never told me that before.
No, I've been thinking about it, and I thought, well, it would be the way to go, but of course I've got to get through the first book first.
We need to obviously build that traction, build that popularity, and that's what this is all about. So what's next for you, and what's next for Wantonness?
The next thing for Wantonness is to get it out there for everybody to read, and I'd like them all to comment on what they've read so that I can build up some sort of club base where I can draw on those people for the next two books.
Makes perfect sense. Now, before we sign off, there's something I want to talk about. I visited your lovely farmlet down in the Gold Coast recently. Yes. And had the pleasure of seeing all of Annette's horses, and the reason I went down there was because we were filming a reading of certain parts of the book. Yes,
we were. The little theatre, the Gold Coast Little Theatre, agreed to come to my place, the president, and enact some videos for me to go online. And they're also coming to the opening and going to perform two scenes from the book at the Arts Centre on the Gold Coast on the 4th of February. 4th
of February 2017. Now, this is going to be incredibly awesome. I'm going to be dressing up in my nights.
Formal wear.
Formal as. And I haven't dressed up formally for so long, Annette. I'm really looking forward to this. And I think the way that you have engaged members of the Gold Coast community to get behind your vision for the book, I think that's really admirable and shows the innovation and marketing that you've got.
Thank you.
Well, I'm looking forward to checking this out online, and I hope you guys are too. Down the bottom of the screen there's the website to go and check out these videos we just talked about. Plus, there's also a very secret pre-sale offer that only a few of us know about. So make sure you go and check it out. Annette, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers, guys.